series. This is our second of those, praise God, with us covering the spirit, body, and mind. Today we're talking about the body. So I'm going to bring up Sister Sheila Westbrook, and then Sister Duncan and Deacon Rashad are going to come in their own way. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Amina. Okay, so. Okay. Thank you so much, and good afternoon, Apostolic Whole Truth Church. Yeah. Hey, grandbaby. Oh, yes. And thank y'all so much for joining us this afternoon as we come together to celebrate our God-given bodies. These beautiful God-given bodies. How amazing is the God we serve. Okay, so before I really get into all the fun details and everything about the body, I just want to share with you a couple of things. The body is able to regenerate and repair all damaged cells and blood vessels. And this is what I mean by that. The body is able to essentially heal its heart. The body is essentially able to heal its very own liver. And the body is also able to generate new bone. How about that? God has put in us everything that we need to sustain us in the name of Jesus. Okay, and so now with that being said, but in order for that to be maintained, and for something like that to be maintained, the name of it is called homeostasis. Homeostasis is like what the body needs to safely to be able to, to keep in motion, to keep wellness going, to be able to be active on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and so now, come take this journey with me.
All right.
Slide. What is health? Feel free to follow along on the slide. Health can be defined as a state. Are you able to see Pastor Wallace?
No, go ahead. I can get my phone.
Okay. Health can be defined as a state of being free from all illnesses and injury. It is the important process of enabling people to increase control over and to improve their health. It moves beyond a focus on individual behavior towards a wide range of social and environmental interventions. Wellness is an active process through which people become aware of and make choices toward a more successful existence. So, where does the journey begin? Okay, so from time to time I like to pose questions to the people of God. So my question is, what is the largest organ about the body?
Skin.
Jeremiah, what is it? Very good. All right. Good job, everybody. Give yourselves a hand. Woo. All right. So now with that being said, one other question. I'm going to see who get this one. What is the greatest vaccination the body could ever receive? And I'll give you a hint. It's not necessarily a vaccination, but it keeps the body in a wellness state. Water is essentially part of it. Jeremiah? Okay, water gun. All right, good job. Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
Flu.
No. Oh, no. But thank you, Pastor Wiley. No, that's not it. So the greatest way that the body can fight off any manner of disease, sleep is part of it, any manner of disease or any type of infection, is by maintaining a simple, adequate diet. Simple, adequate diet. So, health and wellness begins in our spirit and then the mind, and it's ultimately manifested in our actions. The key is accepting personal responsibility for your health and well-being through diet, exercise, and maintaining a healthy, stress-free mental state. A famous author once said, "Health is not valued until sickness comes." Okay. Slide. So you think you can eat whatever you want, huh? So just by show of hands, okay, there it is. So just by show of hands, how many of you guys have had something similar to this within the last couple of days? The picture on the
No, I raised my hand twice.
Can you see it, Pastor Wallace? Can you see it?
Oh, that stuff. Oh, God love.
Okay, so, okay, all right. Y'all get ready for this. Slide, please. Sorry, not. These are all inflammatory foods. They are not good for us, people of God. So the 5 types of foods that cause inflammation in the body, which are not really, really good for us, are like foods like red meat. I would say too much red meat. Definitely processed meats, including like bacon, hot dogs, lunch meats, and cured meats. That's right, Jeremiah, no more bacon. Redefined, and like things such as redefined grains, including white bread, white rice, pasta, and breakfast cereals. Snack foods, like them chips we just had in the backyard. I'm sorry. Including chips, cookies, crackers, and pastries, cupcakes, sodas, and other sweetened drinks. Fried foods, definitely not. And what these foods all have in common is that they contain added sugars, not good, saturated fats, not good, those are like artery cloggers, and or trans fats. With the exception of red meat, these are also all considered processed foods. Next, please. Oh, Okay. Okay. Nutrition. Okay, so let's talk about nutrition. I'll provide copies of it. So let's talk about nutrition, guys. So if I'm sorry, you can go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. So can I draw everybody's attention to this little circle plate right here? Yes. So this is so the World Health Organization, what us nurses call the WHO, they used to use a triangle. You guys remember like a triangle used to be like a pyramid? You know, okay, you know, the pyramids made suggestions of what like a healthy portion of food would be. So now they use a plate. I wish we could put it up over there too. So, and you see it consists of fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. Okay. Okay, and also just to add a bit more information about nutrition, if you are instructed by your primary care physician, your PCP, to maintain a particular diet, for example, if you're a diabetic patient, if you're a dialysis recipient, or have high blood pressure, then it is very important that you follow up with your own primary doctor. The World Health Organization recommends 3 to 5 servings of a variety of fresh fruits, vegetables, and, you know, pretty much every day. They also talk about, you know, using or eating a certain amount of beans, nuts, whole grains as well. These will also consist of like maize, millet, oats, wheat, brown rice. Lean meats such as fish, chicken breast, and turkey, which we just had, so we did good to offset them chips. Okay, lean meats such as fish, chicken breast, and turkey should also be included in your diet. If you are a vegetarian, where's she at? What's Sister Wallace? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, vegetarian. Okay, or seeking to become a non-meat eater, such as our beloved pastor and First Lady Wallace, You might want to substitute lean meat for the following: tofu, tempeh, seitan. These are plant-based and made from soybeans. Mushrooms, eggplant, and jackfruit are great too. Try to avoid beige food. And what I mean by beige food, like fried chicken, beige. French fries, beige. Anything fried, come out golden brown, beige. Just stay away from it. Okay. Meaning try to avoid fried foods. Okay. Remember though, y'all, it's okay to at least have one cheat day for yourself. Because we work hard, y'all. We do. So we owe ourselves at least one. All right, is everybody with me? Yeah. All right, thank you. So the importance of supplements. Woo! Common supplements that may benefit your health include vitamin B12, which can help keep nerve and blood cells healthy. They also help with your DNA. The DNA is like what makes up the 1 unit of cell. I just gave my answer away. That was supposed to be one of y'all trivia questions. Okay? So, the body, God starts life with one cell. Within that cell is something called DNA that makes us who we are. It gives us our traits. It gives us, like, pretty much, I don't want to say our personalities, but it gives us, like, our eye colors, who we're going to look like. We're going to look like mom. We're going to look like dad and stuff like that. That's a whole nother microbiology class. I'm not going to get all up into it. But, so, since I gave away that answer, my next question I want to pose to you guys is, so if God starts us all off with one cell, how many cells do we have now? By show of hands. Anybody? Thank you, Pastor Wilder. Billions, hundreds and hundreds of trillions of cells to make us who we are as we sit here right now. Okay, so getting back to these wonderful supplements, folic acid, which can reduce birth defects, and when taken, they recommend that, to pregnant women and all that good stuff. Vitamin D, which can strengthen bones. Calcium, which promotes bone health. Vitamin C and E can prevent cell damage. Fish oils, omega-3s, which are all good. Vitamin A, which can slow down vision loss and from age-related macular degeneration, which is simply like when your vision starts to dim and so forth like that. Zinc, which can promote skin health and slow down vision loss as well from age-related macular degeneration. And melatonin. Now, if you're going to take melatonin, I would recommend you see a physician about that, because everybody does not need melatonin. Melatonin is naturally produced in the body, and it helps you to sleep. Some people kind of overdo it, and for them parents that try to give it to their kids, shame on you, okay? Okay, most of these vitamins and supplements, guys, can also be found in, again, a simple, adequate diet, which is the what? Best way to fight off infection and disease in the body. Okay, slide. Oh. Can you do me a favor? Please, Mother Irvin, can we just hold the question as soon as I'm done, because I'm almost done. I'm going to take questions at the end. Is that okay? You're going to ask questions. Right. Not until the end, then I'm going to open the floor for questions. Okay. So then our next slide is water, water, water. And then Sister Duncan is also going to touch on this in a few minutes herself. But water is defined as an essential nutrient because it's required to sustain human life. The human body maintains about 50 to 7% of our body weight, and it's crucial for most bodily functions. It's extremely important to keep ourselves well hydrated and address any deficit in normal body water. Rather, it is caused by dehydration, sickness, exercise, or heat stress. Now, it's also, you don't want to take in too much water, because it is such thing as a diagnosis called, fluid overload. And we don't want that. So again, follow up with your doctors. That's what they're there for, making all that money. Okay, it is recommended that we drink at least 8 glasses of water a day, which equals to about 2 liters or half a gallon. This is called the 8x8 rule. Okay, I'm just going to fast forward. Okay, next. These are just some evidence-based scientific studies that were done. Like, scientific studies have shown over time and time again that choosing healthy foods can reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. Healthy foods can also help you maintain a healthy weight. According to the WHO, nearly 100 million Americans are overweight or obese. Being overweight doesn't necessarily make you unhealthy. However, it does create a 50-50 chance of having high cholesterol, high blood pressure, elevated blood sugars. So make sure you go to the doctor, keep yourself checked. Those of us within a normal weight range have at least 75% chance of having normal results on blood tests for cholesterol and blood sugar. Okay, and just to kind of jump to the bottom of this, stop smoking if you're smoking, stop drinking if you're drinking, you know who you are, okay? Okay, next. So, these are some slides. So if you don't get your diet in order, you don't stop your smoking and your drinking, this is a possibility what can happen. So over here we have a healthy heart. This is a heart. I think I put, Oh, I'm sorry. So, so the heart here that's damaged, this heart has, I pulled this from University of Chicago some time ago. And I think this heart was somebody who had a long history of congestive heart failure and also a fatty plaque buildup. And that, y'all see how it kind of looks like fat, you know, y'all seen like that fat stuff from chicken? Yeah, so, okay. And then over here we have like a set of healthy lungs, and then we have the smoker's lungs. See the difference? Mm-hmm. And then over right here, we have different versions of what the arteries in our bodies right now look like. So if you're like the type that's been delving like into a lot of processed food, you know, been just kind of overdoing it, I don't want to say you kind of like right here, but this is what could happen if you kind of like don't push yourself away, you know, just change what you're doing. That's all you have to do, because it's never too late to start new. Because we all want this one, right? Yeah. Amen. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Next. This is my favorite coming up. So let's talk about poop. So everybody has a bowel movement, I believe. Our bowel movements tell us a great deal about our health. Poop may be a gross topic that no one likes to talk about, but taking a quick peek before you flush may give you clues about your health. So just to sum it up real quick, if you turn around, take a look, if it's floating, you have like a high fat content in your body, and it really shouldn't be floating. Stool should be soft, it should be well formed, and if it looks and smells like rocks or pebbles, you should probably add more fiber and water to your diet. The color of stool is for the most part impacted by the food you eat, the kind of bacteria living in your colon, and we all have some type of bacteria in our gut, but that's beneficial, that helps us, and can be affected by any medication you're currently taking. If your stool ever appears tarry or bloody, seek medical attention immediately. Stools should sink. If your stool happens to float, just like I mentioned, more than likely your body is not properly digesting fat. This change in bowel movements may be due to infection, and you should seek medical attention immediately again. Wasn't that fun? Yeah. Next, please. Okay. You got it? Okay. Get plenty of exercise to manage stress. Get active. And then also Deacon, our wonderful Deacon Rashad, he'll be kind of touching on this as well. So we want to get active. Exercising on a regular basis can help manage illness such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and reduce stress. As a rule, you should get some sort of exercise every day for at least 30 minutes, and I'm guilty of that myself. I got to do better, Jesus. Okay, so daily exercise can include taking a brisk walk, using the stairs instead of the elevator, or joining a local gym. We'll get into exercise techniques, again, with Deacon Rashad in just a bit. Stress has been shown to be the cause of many diseases, even cancer. So just some things that you can do just to kind of improve that around you. Cancel all negative energy surrounding you. If you got somebody that's always want to just bring it to you, want to bring you some information on a garbage lid, push them back. Just push them back. And that's one thing that I'm practicing. You calling me about, something that don't have nothing to do with nothing, you get the hang up. I don't mind. And I found out really how to use my iPhone too. I turn off them notifications and stuff. Yes, and it's good. And it has, we have full lives. We have our families and everything. Push back that negative. It has no place at your table. Has no place. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Okay, get back to this. So we want to stay focused. And the other thing we could do, guys, to alleviate a lot of this stress, have an attitude of gratitude. That goes a long, long way. And I'm not just saying this. I've witnessed this in my patients, and I've been a nurse for 20 plus years. I'm almost done with getting my bachelor's of science in nursing. Just about a year to go. Thank you. I'm going on for my master's and my doctorate and all that good stuff. But I have witnessed this. The patients that come in and they welcome the understanding of how, how to get better, and they welcome the understanding of teaching and how to use their medications. Those are the ones they rotate out. And when I say that, when they rotate out, like after I admit a patient, I come back to work in a couple of days, they're gone home because they receive it. The attitude plays such a major role. So just maintain that attitude of gratitude, people of God. Remember to consult with your primary care physician before starting any exercise program. Next, please, Mina. Talk to your doctor. Routine doctor visits are an excellent way to stay on top of your health. Speak up and be honest about the way you feel and any concerns you may have about your health. When you go to your doctor, don't just go there just to be pretty and act like, okay, I'm just here just to say, hey, how you doing? Them doctors are getting paid. They get paid a lot of money. Let them know what's going on with you. And the other thing I would say, if you can, have somebody go with you, preferably somebody that has some knowledge of the healthcare field, because you just don't want them just to, be trying to talk over here. And then that's the other thing. When the doctors are speaking with you, ask them to explain this. Don't come telling me I have hypertension. Just tell me, okay, look, can you put it in layman terms? Make it where I can understand that. And I tell physicians that to this day. Okay. I mean, does anybody, y'all know what I'm saying, right? Okay. Our bodies have a way of communicating with us, and we need to pay attention. Pay attention to what your body is saying. Be sure to share your family history with your doctor, and he should be able to make a better assessment from that. If you are taking medications, whether prescribed or over-the-counter, always bring all medications with you to every doctor visit to ensure that any prescriptions do not conflict with your current prescriptions, as well as any over-the-counter medications that you might be taking. Okay, next, please. Finally, get plenty of rest. I know it's easier to say than to actually do. But guys, we really, really, really need to get that rest in. Rest and sleep play a vital roles in good health and wellness throughout your life. And as I mentioned before, Sister Wallace, turn that phone off. Turn the phone off. Turn the TVs off. Turn the TVs off, get off your phones, put the video games down. Just take time. Just get yourself in some downtime. Get some rest. Take a nap during the day. Get enough quality, because it has proven that get enough quality sleep at night at the right times can help protect your mental health, physical health, quality of life, and safety. The way you feel while you're awake depends in part on what happens while you're sleeping. And what do they mean by that? That means not just go to sleep, but okay, by show of hands, who's familiar with that REM sleep? REM sleep is like that deep sleep that you get. It's not, I'm sorry, y'all. It's like when you finally get into like that deep realm of sleep, where you're getting that serious, much needed rest, where your mind, your body can fully regenerate. And if you need any more information, I will definitely post it on our beautiful boards in the back. Oh, and just to add, during your sleep, your body is working to support healthy brain function and maintain your physical health. In children and teens, sleep also supports growth and development. Next, Amina. And just some helpful hints. So just to do a quick recap, we want to maintain a nutritious diet. We want to maintain definitely our attitude of gratitude. You want to mind, I didn't put this on here, but mind your mind. Mind your mind. Be careful of what you let in. Exercise, water yourself, visit your primary care physician. For the women of God, remember our mammograms every 2 years between the years of 50 to 74. Pap smears every 3 years, 21 to 29, 30 and up every 5 years. Men, prostate and colorectal exams should begin at 50 years of age. I think they might have lowered that for you guys though recently. Yeah. Know and go over your labs with your physician. Once the labs come, ask them. Most labs, the labs are sometimes, they're read in like CBC, CMP, and stuff like that. Say, doctor, what is this? What is this HGT? What is all of this? Have them take time to explain it to you. And then what I always do, request a copy of your labs to take home with you. Learn CPR. Remember to smile and laugh. You burn more calories when you do. Amen. Thank you. Okay, it's one more slide, sis. Thank you. Any questions? And if anyone have any questions, if you go right ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, you mentioned about alternate technique. I think they said men should not eat too much tofu. It creates too much estrogen.
Yes, I've heard the couple of doctors that I've worked with, namely Dr. Kandala and Dr. Najib, and I've been long-term friends with them as well. I've heard them mention that before too. So yeah, you want to just kind of keep in mind what your intake is, gentlemen. If tofu is your thing, so just definitely keep that in mind. I know some guys they eat tofu, but I'm not sure to what extent of it. I'm not a tofu person now, so you definitely just want to keep them. Is tofu something that you might be interested in? Because if it is, I could definitely look into it, and I definitely will get back to you with that information. I don't want to give out any misconstrued information. Absolutely. I hope that kind of answers your question, Pastor. Elder David.
So I know you were showing like the little arteries and stuff.
Yes.
So I know usually once it gets really bad, they have to go in manually, basically, clean that out. Is there any food or diet that, is it a reversible thing, or is it just a maintenance thing? Where it's like once it's kind of is, or is there food you can eat that can reverse that process?
Because actually, Pastor Wallace and I were talking about this the other day. An ounce of prevention, right, is worth a pound of cure. So Yes, it's something, diet and exercise, and it's everything. One thing that we practice in the medical field, we practice primary care, secondary care, and tertiary care. Primary care is it's like when we go out to the communities, we want to provide information to individuals, to groups, what have you, and we create like an open door. Like if they want to, if they're seeking information, so it doesn't get to the state where they would need tertiary care. You know, we don't want to get to the point where they have a full artery buildup of plaque, and you know, and the medical term for it's called arteriosclerosis, which is not good, because then as you mentioned, they do go in, they call it a stent, and it's a stent. It's like a little small little silver piece, and they insert it like on a long tube, and it goes in, and then once it's into the artery, it opens up. And that stent stays in place just to provide blood flow through that artery. It's also something else. It's called angiogenesis. And like I said, since I've been in this medical field, I've pretty much seen some of everything. We had a patient that was diagnosed with CHF, with congestive heart failure. He had full heart blockage. And the doctors were literally at the nurse's station. Well, they were trying to decipher, well, which route do we go? Which route do we go? Labs came back. By the grace of God, this man had experienced angiogenesis. His heart had literally created another vessel across the face of his heart. That blood flow, right, could return, that he didn't need open heart surgery. So, yeah, it just, you know, miracles do happen.
But naturally, there is, once it's clogged, manually is the only way to open it back up. Or that's why
No, not necessarily. There's medications called statins. Yeah, and what they do, you normally would take it just before bedtime. One is called, I think, Simvastatin. Right. Yes. Thank you, Sister Nurse. You know, like any medication that has like a statin on the end, what it does, it goes and when you take it just before bed, some medication, I don't know why they do that, but they work better on the body. I'm assuming because you're at rest then, and the medication can go in and do what it needs to do. And so what it does, it goes in and it eats up those little pieces of fat, because that's all it is. It's just a fatty plaque buildup in your arteries, and then it's excreted in your stool. Mm-hmm. And Cheerios. Mm-hmm. Yes, Cheerios. Yeah, and not just any oatmeal too. She mentioned about oatmeal. If best oatmeal would be like Quaker Oats and steel cut oatmeal. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Give me just a second, Pastor Wilder. Miss Irvin, Mother Irvin. I'm sorry. Oh, zinc. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, anything green leafy. Green leafy. If you eat anything green leafy, more than likely you're going to find everything from A to Z. You're going to find the A's, the B's, C's, like kale. Kale. What's another good one, twins? The spinach. Yes. Cabbage. Green leafy, like the. Okay. Wait. Cabbage, romaine lettuce. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they also, y'all too much. See? Oh, Pastor Wallace. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Okay, well, what I meant by that, stay away from beige food. You know how when you fry chicken, it had that beautiful brown color. You fry French fries, they had that beautiful brown color. Yeah, yes, we are. We are beautifully made. But we talking about reference to chicken and stuff like that. Chicken, French fries, you know, like fried steak, anything, you know, like that. And then That too. Fruits and vegetables. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes, pretty much anything Sister Wireless eat. Yes. Wait, Jeremiah. Yes, Minister Irvin. Mm-hmm.
You have to speak for all of us here. Hold on.
I take vitamins,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's called, it's an all-over vitamin. It has everything in it.
Oh.
It's called, it has everything in it.
I think I know. Not the one a day. It's a yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have, thank you. It's the Shackley products have a vitamin for women. It's everything is in the vitamin.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that,
Is it recommended?
yeah.
Yes. I
Okay.
was, and the whole reason why they came up with that concept is for particularly a lot of people don't like taking a lot of pills. So a lot of these pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, Abbott, they came up with our way. They call it compounding. So what they do, they take a little bit of this vitamin, a little bit of this supplement, a little bit of this vitamin, and they call it compounding, and they put it all into one tablet, like one tablet or a capsule, just to make it easier. But with that, healthcare is a major money-making field also too. So with them doing that, they found, I guess, that if they just combine everything into that one pill, then the cost may have a tendency to go up a little bit. But then at the same token, it kind of benefits the patient where they're not taking like maybe 8 to 10 tablets a day. Yes, Miss Gray.
Okay, I know you're saying the fried food ain't good for us, but what about if we use our air fryers? Because that's not using flour or and it's still coming out brown.
Yeah, that's true. I would say, it's as long as, because it how can I say this? I would say it's okay to use the air fryers, because we use an air fryer in my house too. Well, my twins do. I can't get used to this whole air frying thing. But I would say the whole thing is with fried food. It's not the actual food itself. It's the oil that they use to fry it in. Now, you remember, I don't know if y'all see, growing up with my mom, love you, mama. Growing up, my mom used to, fry food like with the Crisco, as all our mamas probably did at one time and stuff. Yeah, and it made me the wonderful woman that I am today. But then, the only thing they want people to focus on is labels now. And if you notice, it's been like a change in how they label food. The labels on food used to be so minute where you could barely read it. And now labels they're bigger, the lettering is darker, the words are bigger, the labels are more visible, for the customers to, exactly. And so I would say, as far as like the oil, if you just got to have a fried food, go with olive oil. I was kind of hung up on canola oil, but now, after one of my twins had brought it to my attention, they said, wait. Huh? No, what I'm saying, if you just have to, cook with something, I would recommend olive oil. I've never had. Okay. All right, thank y'all so much. Okay. Oh, you got a question?
Final question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say I used to have congestive heart failure.
Oh, wow.
So God had directed me to a doctor to show me what to eat. So he showed me what to eat and what not to eat. So a lot of things that you are saying, I have already knowledge of it, and I'm just thankful to God. So he actually gave me a list, and he said, either I see you in 6 weeks, you'll be doing this, which would have been an insulin.
Yeah.
And I overcame that.
Oh, wow.
And I no
Amen.
longer have congestive heart failure.
Woo! To God be the glory.
Yes.
So it does
Or
work.
hypertension. And
Amen.
everything you said, it does. And I had to do a lot of things with my diet. I lost over 90 pounds.
Oh,
so
wow.
It does.
Let's see, that's encouraging to me.
Yes.
Amen. Thank y'all so much for the opportunity. So now I'm going to put you in the hands of our own Lakeisha Duncan. Woo!
Okay. All right, I'm gonna be real quick. Okay. Y'all see these bottles of water up here? How many ounces y'all think this is? This is 8 ounces. So Sister Sheila talked about that 8 times 8. You're supposed to drink 8 of these a day. Most of us drink this. This is 16.9. So you're really getting more. How many of y'all drink these? Do y'all drink 8 of these a day? No. About 3 or 4. Okay, so about 3 or 4. This is a little bit more than that. So typically you're getting about your 8 ounces. Everybody's body is different. Honestly, I don't even think I can get one of those a day. I don't drink water like that. I know I should, but I don't. I need flavor. I like flavor. I can probably get this down in one day. This would be my 8 ounce in one day. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I know my body is dehydrated. Regularly, when you're exercising, of course you're sweating. About a day, how much water do you think you lose in one day? Just from sweating, going to the bathroom, just, you said about 1 liter? Anybody else? Okay, nurse, layman's term. But you know what? Everybody's body is different. Some may sweat more, some may sweat not at all. I'm one of the ones that don't sweat that much. That's probably why I don't feel like I'm dehydrated, but I know I am. I drink coffee. How many of y'all drink coffee? How many of y'all think y'all getting y'all water in coffee? You're not. Coffee is actually a diuretic. A diuretic means that it makes you urinate. It's pulling water away from you. So if you do drink coffee, I recommend you drink a glass of water behind it, or 2 glasses, depending on how much coffee you drink. I'm a coffee drinker, so I drink about 2 cups a day, so I need to drink at least 2 cups of water behind it. I don't. I notice I get a lot of headaches. I know why now. My body is telling me I'm dehydrated. For those of y'all who get headaches and you're like, I don't know why I got a headache, try drinking some water and see if that relieves. Because most of the time, that's one sign of your body saying, hey, I'm thirsty, I need something. And when you feel you're thirsty, by that time, you're already dehydrated. So I recommend don't even letting that go. They say you're supposed to keep at least, 2 to 3 quarts of water a day. Take water bottles. For those of you all who have like the refillable water bottles, keep them with you. Drink them throughout the day. If you're exercising, you're supposed to drink at least 1 to 2 cups of water 30 minutes before your exercise. Then again, another half cup to 1 cup every 25 minutes while you're exercising. And then within 2 hours after exercising, you should have at least 2 more cups of water. That seems like a lot, don't it? but think about how many times you sweating during your exercise. When you get up in the morning, you should have at least a cup of water. Should be the first thing you have. Before breakfast, before anything, you should at least have at least 1 cup of water. I like my water ice cold. To me, that's the only way I can get it down. Room temperature water is okay, but they recommend that your water should be about 40 to 60 degrees. Why? Because it's easily absorbed in the body. What's the importance of drinking water? It carries nutrients and oxygen to all the cells of your body. It helps convert food into energy, and it lubricates joints. Sister Sheila touched on when you have a bowel movement. Water plays an essential role in that. It helps with constipation. It also helps with easy elimination. You asked about the arteries, and water is one thing too that helps keep the arteries, flowing. I had a question for y'all. I forgot what I did with it. Okay, I'm gonna touch on the dangers of not drinking water. Your body needs to be hydrated to function at its best. If there is not enough liquids in your body, essential functions like circulation cannot perform as smoothly, and your organs does not get the necessary nutrients. Your mood changes when you're dehydrated. How many of y'all have noticed that? I know I'm one of them. It affects your mood. It affects how you think. If you're dehydrated, you're not going to think clearly. You're going to be all over the place. It makes you feel tired. You might even imagine you're hungry, and we talked about that. But you might say, okay, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat, but really you're thirsty. It is foods that can help with that. The green leafy vegetables, those, of course, watermelon, of course, fruit, any fruit. No, not all fruit are green. But any fruit would help with replacing the water back in. But of course, the vegetables, the green leafy vegetables. Tea is good, but it's herbal tea, not the caffeinated tea. The herbal teas are good to drink throughout the day. I like my teas. We were talking about that. But my coffee, I have to get in the morning. I'm not going to lie. I can drink teas throughout the day, but I have a problem with the liquids. I can't drink too many of them because my body is going to release them whether I want to or not. So, for those of you all who don't like water like me, there is flavor packages you can put in your water. You're still getting the water that you need. You're also, of course, is getting the flavor. So, if you can't get all these down, at least this one. At least this one. You could drink this whole one? Okay. How many of them you could drink a day? How many? Another way that you can tell that your body is dehydrated, pay attention to the color of your urine. The darker the urine, the more dehydrated you are. If you drink water throughout the day, you should notice it should be more of a light yellow, almost clear. Almost clear. Allergy sufferers and people who take medicine, they should drink water the most. And of course, our kidney and our liver needs more water because our kidneys, of course, is what helps eliminate the water throughout, and then the liver is what breaks down the medicine in your body. That's what the liver is for. And of course, water helps with that. Let's see. Did I touch on everything? I think I did. I told you I was going to make this quick. And another way is say the best sources of hydration are water and drinks that are primary water, like the sports drinks, the Gatorades, the Powerades. Those are good, but you do have to watch because some of them are high in sodium. Sodium retains water. You hold more water. So kind of be careful with the sports drinks. Lemon water is good. Vegetable broth is a good way to keep hydration. And herbal teas, of course, that I talked on that. Okay, any questions?
So I had just wanted to mention about the
Okay.
corn syrup.
We want one question. Got a question?
I wanted to ask if you know about the corn.
No, we don't.
So, do you know about fructose corn syrup?
It's not good for you, the fructose corn syrup.
Are they in those packages of?
The flavor packages,
Yes.
honestly, I have not read them because I'm trying to stay away from that. I'm trying to train my body to drink water.
Right.
I used to fill up off of those flavor packages, but I'm just me personally trying to train myself to just drink water.
Because that's what I'm trying to find, is something else to drink other than just water all the time. But you mentioned the fruit, those little packages. That's why I wanted to ask.
Or you can do the lemon water.
What are you saying, Pastor? Hold on one second.
And I said, oh, you said cup. You mentioned you kept drinking a cup. Are you talking about the small bottle that's considered a cup?
Yeah, this right here is 8 fluid ounces, which is considered 1 cup, 8 ounces. So typically you're supposed to drink 8 of these a day. Yeah, 8 of those. Or you can do 4 of these and you're still getting your 8 ounces. I mean, if you drink more than that, then that's good. I've found out that everybody's body is different. Some may need more water, some may, like I said, it depends on your activity, how much you sweat, how much you're eliminating water. If you are the ones that sweat a lot, constantly going to the bathroom, of course you're going to drink more. Sometimes drinking too much water is not good.
That's what she was saying. So what did that do?
What, drinking too much water, it can actually, you're really drowning yourself. You're drowning your organs because it's let me see, how can I explain it? Right, you have to, wait a minute.
Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
I would say, like, if you have like an excessive amount of fluid in your body, which is not good, you're going to really pretty much be sending yourself into fluid overload, as I mentioned before. And what that's going to do, it's like backing up. It's like bad plumbing. You got that fluid building up more. The first place you're going to see it build up is going to be in your lower extremities. And so your heart, you got your body working against your heart then. So that's why the best thing to do, keep in mind, if you are a dialysis patient, the doctors will tell you you're only allowed so much liquid a day. Because you don't want to, you don't want to put that kind of pressure on your major organs, on your kidneys, on your heart. You got to be careful with that. And also, if you have a diagnosis of CHF or congestive heart failure, you also want to be mindful about that. You don't want to put that kind of pressure on your body either.
Not just CHF, but also if you're in kidney failure as well, because then you're making your kidneys work harder than what it should because it's trying to pull the water out. So, like I said, if you drink too much, you'll notice and you'll feel like you're drowning. Believe it or not, you can feel like because your lungs are filled up with water as well. Your extremities, you'll notice you're swelling more, and you'll start gaining weight. Even though you may not seem like, oh, I'm gaining weight, but it's just water. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
Those packets that you were talking about, don't they?
Just a minute. You can bring the mic to her.
The packets that you were speaking of, don't they contain a lot of sugar?
Some you can get like the Crystal Light. The Crystal Light I know is sugar free. So they have some of the Kool-Aid packages. Yeah, it'll say if it's sugar free or they'll tell you the amount of sugar. But what I would suggest if you do, I wouldn't put a sugar packet in this one. I would use it more because you're getting more water. So you're basically diluting it. If you're going to use a sugar packet, and if you have only these, I would suggest using half of the flavored packet.
Okay,
But they
I was
are
just-
some sugar-free flavored water.
But is everything sugar-free that says sugar-free?
No, not really. No. That's why I am trying to train myself to just drink plain water. But if
Right.
you need a little flavor, I suggest lemon or honey.
Okay.
Or as Sister Sheila, cayenne, you said. But I would really suggest like lemon and water. Or lime. I've even tried orange slices in my water to give it a little flavor, and it's not bad.
We were talking about like signs and symptoms to monitor, like when you're having, like if you feel like you're dehydrated. One other thing you want to pay attention to, everyone, is your skin turgor. What you want to do, like if you feel like you're dehydrated, kind of pinch yourself, pinch your skin up like this. If it's slow to go back in place, more than likely you are lacking like fluid in your body. If it snaps back. Everybody want to try it real quick? Okay. Yeah.
And another way too is you'll have you'll notice the dry skin. Also with your hair will be more brittle. Dandruff and your nails would be more brittle. That's another sign that you can notice that you're dehydrated. Instead of just saying, oh, I'm thirsty. Like I said, by the time you get to that, oh, I'm so thirsty, you're already at that dehydration point. So I would recommend at least drinking water throughout the day. It doesn't have to be 8 ounces, 8 times 8. Just try to drink water. If you at home and you realize, oh, let me just drink a cup of water. Or you out at the store, let me get a bottle of water. Or you happen to pass a water fountain. Hey, let me get a drink. Some places do have water fountain. Just to, like I said, even if it's, hey, I just opened up this, I only drunk half, I can get the other half down later today, or just, I would recommend just at least trying throughout the day, drinking one of those. Okay, any questions? All right. Okay, next is Deacon Rashad, and he's going to talk about the importance of exercise.
All right, Coach. Good afternoon, guys. Okay, I'm going to try to encapsulate everything these guys said and also touch a little bit on the body or the benefits of physical activity. All right, they say the interest of the word gives light, correct? So you probably heard it at least twice today, maybe 3 times. So here it goes one more time. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Our Creator, Father God,
he put his foot in creating us, guys. So yeah, he really did a number on us. So yeah, so our bodies, they're awesome. I want to also go back to a a sermon Minister David once gave. He talked about how once in our eternal form, when we were able to walk with God, when we were first created, we were perfect. You know, everything was awesome. And then, of course, the fall happened. And we got our mortal bodies, which over time it corrupts. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to maintain it a little bit. And one of the things he said, he was saying, it was really funny because I knew this was, let's just say we were to cut ourselves or hurt ourselves. Our body is so awesome, the way God made it, that it heals itself. And Sister Sheeta talked about it a few seconds ago. So you got blood cells that'll literally die, jump out into the wound to protect your body from infection or, you know, sickness or disease. So awesome. We break a bone, regenerates, it heals. So really our body is designed to heal itself, it's designed to fix itself, and we have God to thank for it. Sister Sheila talked about homeostasis. I'm going to go over that a little bit more too. It is a state of balance among all the body systems needed for the body to survive and function correctly. So over time, scientists, they've created basically averages. What's our average temperature, everyone? Anyone? 98.6. Blood pressure, what's the average? 120/80. So yeah, those are some baseline numbers. And homeostasis is really important because it talks about the differences in each of us. So some people might, you hear African Americans, we have a naturally higher blood pressure. So we're kind of built to survive with a higher blood pressure, although we should work to get it down, but that's just how our body works. You may come across another ethnicity and, you hear their blood pressure is 115 or 110/75. Everybody is different, and that's the beauty of how God created us. So I'm going to keep going back to homeostasis throughout this brief presentation because it's important. I need a few volunteers really quickly. David, I kind of already had him picked in. Corey. All right, so what was one of those reality shows with the American Idol? Let's use that one. So we're about to play American Idol, the health version. So he's going to be number 1, I'm going to be number 2, and he's going to be number 3. And I want my audience to vote. Who do you think is the healthiest contestant? All right, just show a finger, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. All right, hold it up. Hold up your hand. Hold up your fingers. All right.
Yeah, Pops.
All right. He's 3. 1, 2, 3.
Give your $20 in the back.
All right. So there is no way that the naked eye can tell something like that. So, wow. You guys can have a seat, man. So while our dear friend Corey, he looked fit and he's, in shape, muscles, and, his clothes fit perfectly. He looks fairly healthy, but we don't know. And me kind of in between, that's why I stood in the middle. I may look it. I may look it or whatever, but we definitely don't know. And our dear friend David, Some of us were like, nah, I don't know about that. No, we don't. He could actually be the healthiest person up here. And that's the truth. It really, that's how God made us. I mean, each individual, there's a principle called individuality. And based on the individual, you know, that determines health. Everybody's different. So you can't, I mean, homeostasis is a baseline of numbers that each of our individual bodies have to maintain life. So you may see someone bigger and you like, how are they even alive or whatever, you know. It's because homeostasis, your body makes the adjustments for each individual. So we're going to keep coming back to that. We talked about a little bit about adaptations. Our bodies adapts to our environment. It'll adapt to how we treat it. Think about a car. If you get your oil changed and you keep doing regular maintenance, your car is going to run smoothly. Don't put gas in it, or the right gas. You're using that, you know, Exxon over there. No, you know, then you're going to struggle. If you don't take care of your car, your body's going to struggle. Okay. I also want to talk about a few healthy measurements, because when they were standing up here, some people think weight is the most important thing. It's not. There are a few baseline measurements we want to really take care of. So you want to take care of your blood sugar levels. That's a really important number to know, blood sugar. Your blood pressure, that's another baseline number that you want to know. It can determine health. If we don't take care of that blood pressure, it can really put a lot of undue stress on our heart. Cholesterol, also, we want to take care of that number. Good cholesterol, you got bad cholesterol. We really want to take care of those numbers. Some of the minor, but also just as important numbers, you got your heart rate, resting heart rate, your heart rate when you're exercising, you have body fat, you have blood oxygen levels. Those are some things. We got technology out here that can help you keep track of those. You can do it yourself. Raise your hand if you kind of know how to take your pulse, if you know how to take your pulse. Really important. I mean, even when you're resting, you can take your pulse, 2 fingers, groove where your thumb meets your wrist. You can take your pulse that way. And I mean, it can determine health, so to speak, almost some aspect of your health. Got a high resting beats per minute number, then maybe we might need to get out and exercise a little bit more often. If you're resting and your heart rate is at 110, 115, something might be wrong. So every now and then, just try to keep track of that number, resting heart rate. And blood oxygen, you got like Apple Watches. They can kind of monitor or measure your blood oxygen levels. That was really important during COVID when people were like walking and they had low blood oxygen levels, not knowing that they were like in need of desperate help, like emergency room type help. So yeah, knowing those numbers really important. Definitely want to stay on top of those. Okay, we're going to head over to the principles of physical fitness. So yes, exercise is important. We really want to make sure we're exercising daily and staying away from what's called a sedentary lifestyle, or a lifestyle that's full of inactivity or sitting. There's a few studies that showed a positive correlation to sitting for long periods of time and early death rates. So I don't mean to be a grim reaper or anything like that, but like yes, we have to get up and move. So we want to shoot, I think Sister Sheila mentioned it a little bit, 30 minutes a day of moderate to vigorous exercise or physical activity. We also want to minimize our time sitting, or minimize that time of inactivity. I mean, every 30 minutes, just, I mean, keep track. Like, all right, I've been sitting too long. Get up, stretch, take a walk. Let's just try to definitely remember to move and not just sit for long periods of time. So, all right, those principles of physical fitness, we have the overload principle. Now, we talked about adaptability. We talked about how our body changes to the stress we put on it. In order to grow, you have to put stress on it, overload. So resistance training, whenever you're exercising, you're lifting weights, of course, based on another principle, which is individuality, you have to basically grow from the point that you're at. So if you're only able to lift 5 pounds, or if you're only able to do 1 push-up, that's your starting point, and it's okay. What we want to do is eventually get to 2, or get to 5, or get to 15 pounds. So wherever you are currently, it's okay. We just want to continue to overload or add more to it so that our bodies can adapt and grow from that. Specificity is another principle of physical fitness. That's basically targeting exactly what you want to target. Some of us younger folks, we might I want to dunk like LeBron James. I want to, run a 4.4 flat. And, so we have to train specifically in certain areas. We have to train our anaerobic system, which is our muscle system, power system. Some of us want to get our hearts and lungs functioning better. We want to train that aerobic system. So you might focus on exercises such as walking or jogging or swimming. When you don't know quite like the area that you're trying to target, which is what specificity is about, you could be working backwards almost. So you can say, I want to dunk, but if you're doing a lot of cardio or long distance running, you're not working the targeted area that you desire. So reversibility, that's another principle, which is basically use it or lose it. If you exercise, you start seeing, like me, start seeing a few results, and then I just stop. I don't know why. I get to a nice physique or point, and then reversibility happens, and it happens quickly. So yeah, if you, I can notice like 1 or 2 missed workouts, and then I try to get back on track, but it's like, man, you had that weekend when you're like just eating whatever, and you try to get back to, it's cool for the cheat day, but you're going to pay for it a little later. So yeah, and to go back to diet, because she did a nice job with diet. Yes, the plate she showed is correct. You want to go by the my plate that can be found on what is it, CDC.gov. But as normal people, it's like, what do? You got what you have in your refrigerator. you got what you have in your pantry, and you just have to work with that sometimes. And it's nothing wrong with that. And basically, moderation. So you can have the Twix, or just shoot for a piece of it. Shoot for one, not both. Just shoot for one, not both. And wherever you are, you definitely just have to remember. Like, if I struggle with sweets, maybe I want to stay away from it until I can tame it, or maybe I shoot for, which I'll talk about, briefly, SMART goals. You make goals that are attainable. So don't try to say, nah, I'm cutting out sugar all the way. You're gonna struggle. You're definitely gonna struggle. So let's just say I'm gonna get better with controlling my sugar intake. So when you limit yourself, me and David talk about it a lot. When the minute you uh, introduce some type of limit to something, that's when the enemy comes in and he's like, yeah, Rashad, go get that cupcake, go get those graham crackers. But if you don't introduce it, you're perfectly fine. It's more so, a battle of attrition or a battle with yourself more so. So, winning the mind game. So yeah, we also have FIT principles, which is frequency, intensity, time, and type. That's more so exercise program. So if anyone's interested in starting an exercise program based on your individual level, you'll think about how many times you want to do this, your frequency. Maybe it's 3 to 5 days a week. Your intensity, what type of exercise am I doing? Am I doing resistance training, weights or resistance bands, or am I doing a lot of cardio? Depends on your goal. As you get older, some of our older members of the congregation, you think maybe I just want to be able to function. So you have something called functional training, whether it's like being able to reach and get stuff out of the cabinet, being able to move around different places of the house, the bath, the bed, or whatever the case may be. There's training that's specific to that that you can work on. So, but just remembering those principles of overload, progression, specificity, and reversibility. Progressing, you want to make progress. If I can only walk without assistance to the room for this month, okay, maybe next month you can shoot to be able to walk to the room and then to the backyard, or I don't know, whatever your case may be. So yeah, we want to also, like I said, try to create SMART goals, something you can measure, something that's specific, attainable, relevant to you and where you are in your life at the moment. So yeah, healthy heart rate zones. I bought my two buddies up here, my two brothers up here a second ago, and I want to talk about healthy heart rate zones, because like all three of us, we can all jog a lap around the track. We can all jog a mile. Corey might do it in 6 minutes or something like that. I might do it in 8:30 or something like that. David might do it in 10. But guess what? David could have been the one that was working the hardest. So talking about healthy heart rate zones, your maximum heart rate is 220 minus your age. If you want to calculate it really quick, 220 minus your age will give you your maximum heart rate. And those healthy heart rate zones goes as follow. As I said, if he ran his mile in 10 minutes, but he was working in the anaerobic threshold, which is like your almost close to your maximum heart rate, or 80 to 90% of your heart rate, it probably benefited him way more. Corey probably did it in 6 minutes, but he was only working at 50 to 60% of his maximum heart rate. Who did it benefit more? And yes, it benefited, that mile run benefited David more. So it's very important to know what healthy heart rate zone you're working in when you're doing an exercise, whether it's jogging, walking, or whatever. So you got 50 to 60%, which is like a warm-up. 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate is the fat burning zone, or weight management. If you're ever checking your post and you notice that, oh, I'm at 160 or 70% of my heart rate, that means you're in a place where you're managing your weight. And this is different for everyone. So someone can be walking and working really hard. I'm one of them. I used to jog my laps very slow. Like my coach was like, "I'm walking faster than you're jogging, Rashad." And like, "What are you doing?" But like, I was working hard, man. I thought, I'm sweating bullets, like, so yes, those are some of the adaptations we talked about earlier with homeostasis. That's all my body can do, but I'm doing just as much as the next person. So you can, like, for a lot of my people that aren't as mobile, or you can still get your steps in. You can walk and get a great workout in. So what are the best workouts? Any physical activity. You don't have to even exercise in a gym or anything like that. Anything you can do is a excellent workout. So if you're cleaning up in the house, that helps. If you're shoveling the snow, if you're I don't know, taking out the garbage, anything where you're moving, it helps tremendously. Walking, that's one of the greatest exercises ever. So she mentioned brisk walking. We want to make sure if we can only do 10 minutes, we don't want to count steps. I know you heard a lot of different numbers about that, which are all good. 7,500 is pretty good. 10,000 steps is pretty good. Anything after that, you're definitely moving up the ladder, so to speak. You're doing well. You're doing great. But if you can't get to any type of gym or anything, 10 minutes of walking, especially after a meal, that's one of the better times to do it. I would definitely shoot for that. So yeah, trying to make sure we're decreasing the time sitting and really working on our physical activity, or time spent doing physical activity. Like I said, I noticed just doing regular yard work. I love it. That's like, if I can't make it to the gym and I'm bending, I'm like pulling weeds and, mowing the line and raking. Like the raking, that's a good one. 'Cause it's like, you want some biceps, triceps, get a rake, Rodney. I want you raking the grass, all right? Nah, I'm telling you, abs, torso, definitely helps. So you want to just, any type of physical activity, 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day, 150 minutes in a moderate to vigorous zone a week. 300 minutes is awesome if you're just in a moderate zone. But yeah, you want to try to stay physically active. Why stay physically active? It's a natural mood lifter. Works on your mood. When you do exercise or physical activity, something is released called dopamine or endorphins and dopamine. Those are things that your brain release. It's like a feel-good hormone. I'm sure you go to the gym, you get your workout in, you guys feel great afterwards, right? And it impacts sleep as well. So if you do it at the right time, sometimes you'll be energized right after. But if you do it right at the right time, like maybe a couple of hours before bed, maybe 2 or 3 hours, it'll knock you out. The right workout will, definitely. I wanted to jump back to homeostasis or adaptability, and I learned this doing garden work in the yard. So pulling some weeds, picking, pulling all the weeds, the bad, it pops up really quick, right? The green grass, it takes a little time, for it to come back in or whatnot. But I noticed, so I'm pulling this weed. All right, it came up a couple weeks later. I'm like, again? So I go to pull it. I'm like, this time the thing grew like spikes or something. I'm like, so, to preserve its life, it's like it adapted. Like, I don't want to get pulled anymore. Let me grow some spikes on it. Let me, and our bodies are the same way. So, it definitely adapts to the stress you put on it. No matter where you are physically, it's going to adapt to whatever you do. So, but we want to definitely try to make it adapt for the better. You don't want to get to 70 or 80, and some of us, get to those age groups or will make it there or lucky to make it there, and not be able to enjoy. So we want to kind of enhance the quality of life, and exercising regularly along with diet, you can pretty much have a good quality of life as you age or get older, stretching, things like that. So yeah, also really quickly wanted to talk about the different fat types, because I did mention like body fat is a good measure you want to keep tabs on. You have essential fat, which is fat that your body needs. I think we all hear fat and we get scared. And so we start reaching for fat-free foods and this and that, which isn't good because your body needs fat. You got subcutaneous fat, which is under the skin. You might notice this. It's just like your stored fat for later use. You might notice the bloated feeling when you eat something that you're not supposed to eat. Like me, I eat some carbs and I instantly just feel, I feel it growing or expanding, which is one of the reasons we try to tackle. I'm, by the way, a PE teacher, and one of the reasons we try to tackle childhood obesity is because you can't truthfully lose fat once you have it or once you pick it up. It's always going to be with you. What happens when you exercise, that fat, that subcutaneous fat, it decreases or it gets smaller, it shrinks. And when you don't exercise it just expands. So it's always there. That subcutaneous fat is always there. Only way to get rid of it, truthfully, is like lipo or something, and that's different story. And then you have visceral fat, really important. Visceral fat is the fat around the abdominal cavity, around the organs as well, liver, intestines. That's the fat that's a little scary. That's the one that can lead to clogged arteries or whatnot. You can eliminate it with healthy diet and exercise, but you definitely want to be mindful of it, because that's the fat that's kind of smothering the heart when you let that get out of control. So, yeah. One more story. So, and I don't want to, hope I don't, but we went to, or I attended the funeral of our dear friend, Miss Ragland, her mom, and we met some of her family there, and she had an aunt that was she was like 92, and don't get me wrong, we have some in the room with us today that are really up there. I remember, and I shared this story before with some people, the first time I shook Mama Wallace's hand, I was like, I'm like, this lady is strong, man. Like, that's, that individuality piece. That's, I try to get those secrets. I think she needs to be standing up here, or, it's definitely a lot of different secrets out there or whatever. I mean, not secrets, but like everyone's different. It's definitely about, listening to your body and or the spirit, as someone preached on already, right? Someone taught on the spirit, was it, or the Holy Ghost? Okay, last time or the first one. Reason I brought that up is because I spoke with her. I'm like, what's the secret? What do I need to do? And she was like, well, just pray a lot, walk with God, She was like rubbing my shoulder. I'm like, come on, that's it, she was right. When we pray, when we listen to the Spirit, He tells us what to eat, what to do. He'll give you life instructions like go for a walk, let's go for a walk, or eat this, or don't eat that, don't, stay away from that. If we're sensitive to it, he'll lengthen our days, if we're obedient to him. So it's no huge secret, just follow God, continue to move and make healthy choices in what you put in your body. There's a saying in the technology world, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in there is what you get back out. So, you reap what you sow. If you put some fruits and veggies and, some fishes, some good meat, some, healthy stuff in there, then you'll reap the benefits later when you're older. So that's my presentation. Any questions?
Yes.
One question only. I know y'all grilled my friends over here. And, I don't. No, I'm joking.
You mentioned that about the aerobics and the heart rate. I think you said. I want to get a clarity. You said if you do 220. What was that? 222.
220 minus your age.
220 minus
general
age.
Formula that we use.
That's the formula. Your heart. You should try to get your heart rate.
That's your maximum heart rate. So if you're up there, that
you
means.
You mean on a regular?
No, that's the maximum it can go.
And when you're working out, it shouldn't go over that.
Yeah, you don't want it to go over that.
Oh. Okay.
So 220 minus your age. That's the general formula that you can use to get your maximum heart rate.
I wanted to ask about what is the best exercise? Is it cardio or weight lift for fat loss?
For fat loss, you definitely want to do both, but there's a rule of thumb. The more we're talking about, I forgot to talk about body composition. So you have muscle and fat. The more muscle you have, your body works better. So it's like you do need that strength training, that resistance training to build muscle. And when you build muscle, it helps your body burn fat or it runs more efficiently. So you want both, but you definitely want to try to build muscle. And to build muscle, you probably want to lean more towards resistance training. Yeah, that's the weights. Cardio, walking. You can lift your weights, but after you're done lifting those weights, go for a walk. Because you're supposed to keep the muscles, stretch and walk. That's your cardio for the day after you lift those weights. So build muscle, and it'll definitely help with burning fat. Miss Ragland, I think she wanted.
Oh yeah, you ask, because I don't have a question. I was just gonna make
She's gonna make a comment.
So
We're gonna do questions first.
exactly, that's why.
Thank you. No. Look, we gotta keep an order, right? But is it better to do cardio and then strength training? To do the cardio first and then the.
Okay, good question. So a typical workout starts with cardio. You want to warm your body up. You want to get your blood flowing. It helps with the actual weightlifting or resistance training. You never want to go straight into weight training. You want to warm the body up with some cardio first. So you can jog maybe a mile and a half, and then go to your weight training. But then also you want to end with a cool down as well, which after you're done with your weight training, go back to a brisk walk or a light jog. It works hand in hand, but it depends on your overall goal. If your overall goal is to build muscle, yes, you do your warm up, a light jog or a light walk, and then you get straight into your your weight training, or you have warm-up sets with that. But depending on your goal, it'll kind of dictate what you're doing. So if you're building muscle, definitely keep the cardio at bay. You still need to do it to warm your body up and prepare your joints for the movements you're about to do. But you really want to focus on the weights. But if you're looking for a healthier heart, more efficient body or breathing, VO2 max, you want your lungs to work better, you want to do a lot of cardio in that case. The resistance training bands will come second and not as much, but you still need to do it. I mean, it all works hand in hand. Any more questions, comments?
I just was going to say that one thing my aunt told me, the one who stood up, she's like 91, I believe, 92. But the one thing, well, a couple things, but she said like she stopped eating processed food because she like had arthritis, and I remember her saying like she noticed that when she would eat chips or any of the processed food, that she would get like, she was saying the more inflammation, so she stopped like eating any of that. I don't think she barely eats like any sugars, like natural sugars.
Can I cut? Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then just living like stress free. So all my aunts were like that, where they feel like, you do things to get your stress out. They don't let like their relationships, husbands, whoever bother them too much. They tell me these things. So that's kind of one thing they do too, is like stress free. They always talk about
Thank you. You just remind me, you remind me of one thing when you said that. And I was talking about fat free and needing fat. Yes, the sugar is a killer. Processed foods is a killer if you can avoid it. But like I said, moderation is definitely key, depending on where each individual is at. And that adaptation, we fast. This is a fasting church. And how many people can recall fasting and feeling great with that stuff out of your system, with the sugars out of your system? I've had pains like totally disappear when I was like fasting. Like usually I get up, my feet hurt, but when I was fasting, of course the weight drops, the inflammation drops. And it's just a great feeling. I notice once I break it, ouch. But yeah, following God's principles, prayer, fasting, meditation. You talk about stress. It's really important to, he said, meditate on the word day and night. When you're breathing, when you're, quoting the scriptures, all of those things help reduce that stress. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the body, it's very interesting, those adaptations it makes when you put it through certain conditions. Yes, Minister Irvin.
I just wanted to make a statement about all of the things that all of you talked about. I have experienced and gone through, and now I'm every time I go to the doctor, my blood pressure is always perfect to them. I don't have any diabetic problems, no high blood pressure. Because of what I've done, I stopped eating a lot of junk that you were talking about. Stopped drinking a lot. I'm on more water, and I've lost about 40 pounds. And I'm happy with myself, because I said this one thing to myself like a goal. I know I have to get old, but I'm not going to be fat and old.
Yes, we definitely want to work on quality of life, which is what the exercise and diet, it will help improve later on. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of fad diets out there, or like temporary or popular diets out there. Atkins and various diets there. I wouldn't, like Sister Sheila said, consult with your doctor, but and they'll tell you many times, just eat healthy. If you are going to reduce sugar, which is awesome, remember that your body needs fat. I mean, sugar, it needs sugar too. I mean, but you just want to get it from natural sources. I mean, when you eliminate fat, which is the good thing about, sugar, which is the good thing about fasting, that one of the adaptations that the body makes, it now becomes a fat storing machine. So like once you come off that fast, it's going to store whatever you just ate, like, because it doesn't know when, you're going to get your next meal. So it's like I said, we're wonderfully or beautifully, wonderfully created. It adapts to what we do to it. So, but yeah, fat, if you can get rid of the sugar, eat a healthy portion of fat, your body will turn into a fat burning machine. So that could be a goal. Definitely to lower sugar intake, keep fat intake at a healthy level so that the only thing your body can burn is fat, instead of having to go to those sugar stores first, or carbohydrates, which get broken down to sugars or fats, or sugars get broken down to fats. You want your body to go straight to that fat source and start burning that first. So in order to do that, eliminating the sugar and eating healthy fats. There are healthy fats out there: avocados, peanuts, different things like that.
Quick question, because I just thought about it when you were talking about the death grip that Mother Wallace, and and she's strong.
Yes.
And I also noticed it when I had to help her. Was it your auntie? Yeah, she's like really strong. Like no, and I heard something about like grip strength. Is that like a real thing? Like such like usually when people get older and feeble, like they're less able to grip and hold on. Like I don't know, maybe you can talk about. That's something I've heard. I'm not fully familiar, but
I don't know. You have to ask her. No, but there are different. You know what? Like that's why I pointed out earlier, just the natural acts that we have in life. When we're shoveling or when we're doing garden work, you got the I don't know what it's called, but you're like turning the dirt over with the machine. Yes, it works on your forearms, which also helps your grip. When I was raking, the same thing. Those different movements, which are functional movements, that's where she gets her strength from. Those daily functional movements that she's probably done all her life. So yeah, definitely get Rodney, yard work. Let's go. All right. You wanna get Mother Wallace strength, that grip, man, you gotta get in the yard. You gotta wash some clothes. We used to wash our clothes with our hands. We used to wash our clothes with our hands, and when we had to wring the water out, wash boards. So that grip, natural movements, man, that we used to do that you guys don't know nothing about now. Yeah, my dad was an insurance man as well, and I used to have to wash his shirts, so yeah, I had to get the collars, man. I had to wash them shirts, so I know what it hard work, Rodney. You can get there, man. But that's all I got, and thanks for listening. I appreciate it.